Okay. Just move my chair a little bit closer. Why is my mic just... Okay. I don't know why. The audio bar just wasn't moving, so I was curious. Okay. Now, let's get started. Like last time, I want to start with the head and figure out position-wise. I want to get... This is center. Part of me wants to cut out the screenshot. Here to here. Boom. Good. Yeah. It's easier to see. Now, just for a moment, don't worry about cutting something else. We are starting at the fourth ring, but which would be here, roughly. Just so that I have a visual representation of where the start of this box should be. Okay. Now, I flip this back. Oh, sorry. Flipped it to the wrong angle. How do I want to start this? We're almost an inch down from the top of the screen. And then the face itself is about 1.5. That was 2 more. 1, 2, 3. The entire res of the scale so that it's not all pixelated. Zoom it up. Because I believe this is your 2 mark, which would mean this chin is right. I would say 1.9. I think I would be comfortable with that. But combine that with your overall are 1.76. Yeah, we should. Okay. Which means I should align here with the starting of our box here, here between the 2 ears are. Between that, this is 1.9. That mark. Okay. Now for width-wise, you are going to be slightly annoying because the box. Oh, 1. Here's an ear, which would mean head shape would be here, with the ears being attached there. There's not as much back of the hair, which is interesting, you know. Okay. The nose is the center of the face. Okay. The nose, center of the face. Face, center of the face. Okay. I can make with that. I can work with this. So what we have to do is figure out. So it looks like the chin starts to bend up right around the lips, which is about. Just shy of the 1, so about 2 to 3. I think this is your 3 thou, which would mean this is about 2 thou. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. Which kind of makes sense. There isn't that much difference between where the mouth is and the chin, and these are pretty close. So, and the center that we decided, which is about here, nose, just about there. Yep. Okay. It looks like you have the, what's the word? I use tulip looking side. So this is more of a curve. So kind of a slightly straight, but then kind of curves like that, roughly. Since most of the sides of the face can be blocked by hair, that's at least a little easier to work with. Now, I would say you're about a scale between the chin, or not the chin. You're a little short of the half of the scale. If just fix the chin, and then there to there is just slightly be here, which also straight lines, the angle that it actually keeps. Yeah, okay. But I feel like the chin comes further down. I think that will be fine. The mouth is not very easy to work with because it's placement wise. Trying to figure out where you are against the face. The edge of the mouth is at this one, and the other side of the mouth is at the one on the other side of the 1, 4, 1. So 3 to 5. When does the here in the center of the mouth? That's the closest I'm gonna get because it is between here and then line on that part of the neck to she lines up pretty well there. Oh, so the mouth is over, down, that. Yes. That's where the nose needs to be. Which, like, you can kind of see where the top of the nose is. Not super, but you can see the round. Let me see. Ooh, I had a better one. Yeah, you can see kind of where the nose is right here. Okay, now comes the hard part. I have to figure out how to place the eyes. Right now I'm confident with how the bottom part of the face looks, but the eyes and the top are gonna be crucial. No, lines for the nose. For something that I can use a marker. You. I mean, you could kind of use the bottom lip as the center line between the two. Because it would be here. And then if we just slowly could work the size up a little bit more than that eye, which could work here. Way too close. I think you're right about the center line being there. Yeah, I do too. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, 1, 2. Like, it's not perfect. It's actually closer to the center of here. Here, but I think that I can make that work. Okay. How far apart are the scale difference? We can do basically the. Okay. It's a good place to start. If this eye is slightly up from the other one, okay, take the bottom here, which would mean we want the bottom of this eye here to angle down like this. That's straight. I don't think that's enough. So that the bottom of the eye should be here, the bottom of this eye should be here. That way they are off-centered by the right amount, hopefully. Which would mean it kind of looks like it goes flat, up, flat. And not that much. Roughly speaking, I think that works. Because... nope, that's... This is where it cuts the curve of this straight here. That part, that. Yes. And then the eyelash here. Scratch up this. I have to go open. Okay, now it's time for the other eye. Then kind of curves down. Oh, I'm blocking it for you guys, sorry. Let me move the webcam a little bit down so you see what I'm seeing. Let me see, the eye has this curve part, where it curves and then curves back up and then oval, which means, oh, she also has eyelashes on the bottom of her eye, which is not common. Usually you see it at the top, but you don't generally see it as much on the bottom of the eye. And her pupil is kind of just a darker red than the other of her eye, which is gonna make it slightly different. Instead of it being black, it's darker red, and the rest is like a lighter red. I can make that work. That it's the most simple And yet, I don't love this. Okay, I think that's gonna be fine. If it goes with where the curve would be, which I think if he continued, this would curve up right here, and the rest of the head would kind of meet over here, which fits with this. Now, I'm trying to figure out how to do the top part of the head. So it looks like here, you're gonna help me center everything else. Okay. Which would mean this for the eye, but gets blocked. So here, pretty good. If you are about this here, you're looking at here, to here, which fits pretty close to this, which is where we said was between the two ears. The other ear, so one ear comes up here. The second ear there. And then the rest of the hair sort of comes there, here to there. Okay. Now it's time to work on the neck, because that's going to help me center where the finished part of this should be and where this comes down. You have a sort of triangle, so short neck, but triangle. Okay. Here, how long is the triangle? So this would be our triangle, which is about halfway from the collar bone, or from the collar on the neck, about there. So if this there, this at the bottom, which would triangle where the line or the neck, shoulder, and this is where it starts to descend to your normal type, which is how, yes, how we're on the 5 part. This is where we are. Right. Yes. That should be where the start of the shoulder is. Same thing with that, which makes sense. Okay. Now, curve. Now comes down, which is the thickness of the arms, because that's going to help me frame a lot of those. So here is where the thickness for that arm looks to be. Here, that arm looks to be. Am I right? Or does this look way too long? Like you don't have that long of a shoulder, you know? Here, which actually seems more recent. I don't know why. But it does in my head. Okay. Cut this a T shape, or not T, tier. I don't know why I was saying T, which would mean the other one also fits this. So if this is where the shoulder is, then hit these right. I feel like one's larger than the other, which is not always common in drawings. Which would mean I should just cover this part. So, like I've shortened the shoulder too much. That's how that looks, because this shoulder has a pretty good amount of space. The shoulder does not, but we're just the side further up. Though I do believe it needs to curve like that. Because yes, so you stop talking. Continue the arm about here. Do continue the arm to here. Yes. Which put the scrunchy, I don't know what you call this type of shoulder, because I've never seen anyone ever wear this type of outfit. And then it kind of balloons out. Scrunches over here, and then there. Then kind of continues to come out. The body's like that. Yes. Okay. Now, which would mean that the straps that come around the neck, this thickness mean here, and curve this part, the lace. I'm going to draw it lace. Yet I want to at some point. That kind of. So that's kind of right. And then this is more of a like this, because it kind of, yes, which means this part. This part of the trench match it. Yeah. But then it forms this X. the X is more of the center of everything, then start soon just to bring the eyes towards the center of the stuff. Starts here, kind of comes to here. Okay, it's kind of any of that. Goes down to here. The rest of the hair kind of goes down to here. Work on the hair a little later. That's just to help get. Now I gotta get a lot of ruffles, which is going to make, and a few bows. Easier than the last one of bows, but a few bows. So I would say the ruffle starts on the strap. So teacups out of that, and then kind of comes out like this, and then balloons out. Get more like that because it's towards the bottom part, like that, which roughly matches up with this. Like I would say, does anyone know these outfit parts? I never know, like if it's attached to the top, or if there's, or if you have to. I assume that they are. Otherwise, they would slide down constantly, and you have to rub them back up, or roll them back up, not rub them, which would drive me crazy. Now it's time to do this gap here, and then here. I really like your design. I know I don't want this to sound rude, but it's slightly simple compared to the other one, but I really like the simple look. Like, I know it's very common to get very complicated designs, but I do like the definitely makes it slightly easier to draw. But maybe now from here, let's say there is this sort of triangle, more ruffles. Girl likes a ruffle, I guess. Or what do I call them ruffles? I don't know what the term might be. But, you know, because there's a little bit there, out, in, out, up, down like that. Arm, come down. That's where I would say the elbow comes in. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, technically, this is laces. 10, 6. Okay. Which would then line us up with the dress here, which I'm gonna also extend off tool. But I don't know. Again, I don't know what this is called. Around here, so that it kind of starts to block that ledge. Keeps it with this kind of curvy part. Now it's time to do. Let's see, so this would be where your hip is, which would come up to here. So, your hip kind of come up to here, like that, kind of curve down, starts to curve. Yes, which, and then the center, right where the button thing is where the gap is. Yes, so take that here, like here, boom, looks amazing. If I do say so myself. I mean, yes, it kind of complicated part right here. Now, finishing the arm, which gets kind of the hands. I could do that. I just have the hands behind, but I'm not trying to hide the hands. I will say, part of me wants to do the back, you know, that skirt that's short in the front, long in the back. I really need to get rid of that. Figure out how to get rid of those stupid butts. I don't know how, but I will figure it out. Let me look at it's right around the third ruff. Really should go. This it looks 3D-ish, which would be here. This and uncommon. So I am not good with hands right now, which is an uncommon, but I will get better with them. That's, I'm gonna hide your hands. And then I said I wasn't gonna. I think it's. I don't have a fine pencil enough to do the hands. Just look like a blob. I don't want that. Now to finish the hair, which goes down, and here comes back up. This part kind of gets thicker down here. I think that looks roughly good, given the fact that I had to screenshot this picture. I will say, if we're awkward though, I think I'm gonna have to move after the light, because if this gap is to be believed, this here, like that. Which actually works a little bit better, TOS wise. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. How do I do the mouth a little bit more? Because this is all pixelated, so unfortunately the rest of this picture. And the otherwise, just I think that's actually pretty good. Any other detail that I am missing? Let's see. Now, though I will say it's a little bit darker, so that they don't, get mistaken for it. Oh, I guess if you just follow of course they won't get mistaken for. I'm gonna do this type of fabric. Like I know texturally what it would look like, but it's very, fluffy. Flowy is the word I'm looking for, not fluffy. Flowy. I think I'm good. Take a picture of this. What was the guidelines wrong? Okay, the guidelines are still present. I'll say, I think the ears, they're kind of big ears here. I don't think this as big. I think it's this. Yeah. Oh. Which kind of, because this is where like we begin